Hello everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. It is time to talk about the new Kuno, the Production Kuno, the Kuno that you will be receiving if you make the purchase, pre-order, whatever. I haven't spent a full week with it, hence why this isn't like a standard I spent a week with video. Mostly just because Blade Show's coming up and Remshi needs this thing back to show people at the show. So, gotta send it out right after I film this, but let's compare these two, because I've made a lot of videos on the original Kuno. I've flipped the original Kuno quite a bit. I like it quite a lot. And in fact, actually, some of you have probably flipped this exact Kuno at Blade Show last year, because I was the one who was actually showing it off to people. So, I'm going to try and explain what the new Kuno is like in terms of the old Kuno in case you tried it. In case you haven't tried it, I'll also try and explain it in that. Quite simply, the Kuno has gotten much, much better with this production run. I prefer this flipping style vastly over the original Kuno. Not to say the original Kuno was bad, bad by any means. This feels better. The calico comparison that I did in the original video I did when I unboxed this is probably the best one that is probably the best comparison that you could make, because the original Calico prototype that I have, and I guess the Calico V1s that went out initially throughout that run, were very, very end weighted. There was a lot of weight in the end of the handles. And that's how the Kuno is. The Kuno is also very end weighted. You can feel a lot of that momentum in the ends of the handles. But the Calico 1.5 came out and sort of distributed a little bit of that weight elsewhere, which made it just feel a whole lot more normal. And that's how this is. The weight in the handles is more distributed, and it just feels normal while still keeping that sort of Kuno feeling that you love. It very distinctly still feels like the Kuno. It just has a bit more of a standard balance to it. Whereas the original Kuno is weird, probably really liked by people who really like handle bias because of the extra end weight. This, I wouldn't exactly say it's neutral, but it just feels a lot more even, a lot more smooth. Specifically in fans, the weirdness that I was having with fans to begin with is gone. It feels way, way better, but you still get the properties of the end weight, which means it's really good with chaplains, rollovers, etc. It's really light, so, wrist bumps and aerials feel good. And it's also kind of floaty just because it's so long. But it just feels a little bit more standard. It's a little bit more in line with everything else while still, maintaining its uniqueness as the Kuno. And that's pretty much the extent of the changes. The only other big change that I noticed is the ring from the original Kuno isn't really coming through on this one. I don't know, here. Let's see if you can hear it. And then we compare that to I don't know, the original prototype just sounds like it's ringing a lot more. Not really a bad change. This one still is very zippy and nice, and I like it. You just lose that ring, which, could be because of the changes in the handles. It could be because of the anodization. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point. Which, speaking of the anodization, I believe the Kunos are going to come standard like this. I don't know exactly. Remshi will have to talk about that a little bit closer to when it actually releases, but the Kuno production model has come from, I guess this is the best way to put it. The original Kuno, $500. I was into it. I really do like the Kuno, but a part of my problem was I didn't really know if I would spend that on it, Because, there aren't a lot of ballast songs in that price range that I would spend that kind of money on, at least right now. The Slift T is probably at the highest end of what I would realistically buy in a ballast song nowadays. But you still have to make that judgment call when you're kind of reviewing something as I plan to do with the original Kuno. And the $500 price tag was my biggest sticking point. It's not that I don't think it's worth it. I absolutely think it is. It was just a question of whether or not I would have paid it for the experience that I was getting, because it was very, very unique, don't get me wrong. But there was just something about it that I was like, I would almost rather just get something, you know, in the cheaper end. What the heck? Did I just rub? I swear that changed color when I rubbed my thumb on it. Okay, well, that's interesting. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it was something that was like, I don't know if I would really do it. Like, if this is a experience that you like, I think it's a great purchase. But for me personally, I don't know. The Production Kuno changed that. I would absolutely buy one of these at its current price point. I think it flips really, really well. It's unique, but it's still good, and it just really, really justifies that price tag. I really like the Production Kuno. Now, it's not like a crazy difference that I would be like, oh, I'm going to buy one over my prototype. I still think my prototype is giving me 90% of what the production offers. And if you own a prototype, I know a few of them are out there. I don't know if this is a justification to upgrade, but the production model makes the changes that it needed to just push me over the edge to say, yeah, I would buy one of these. I think it flips ridiculously well, and it's just fun. This, I mean, like I said in the last video, it's not going to win you any competitive awards, although this one feels a little bit more competitive than the original Kuno, but it's just fun, it's unique, it's light, it responds well. I like it. I like it a lot. So that is the Production Kuno. If you got one, or you are planning on getting one, congratulations. I think this is a really, really solid pickup. But it's time to send it out, unfortunately. I've actually been flipping this a lot over the past few days. But now it's time to go back to the Osprey, which I'm excited to make that video on because I've been really liking that thing so far. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Look at that thing in the sun. Whew. Peace.